Hi guys, you don't want to see my belly. Okay, this is the audio for the story of Penicillin, and it's the audio for the Hungry Lion. So, the quick check for today. So, I'm going to read the story and give you, read the story and then give you the questions. Okay, again, same deal. You can pause it whenever you are ready. I don't like how this is. Okay. Story of Penicillin. Fleming's discovery. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin in 1928 when he was working at the St. Mary Hospital in London. He was a bacteriologist or scientist who studied bacteria and how it can be applied to medicine. Bacteriologists study how bacteria forms, identify different kinds of bacteria, and learn what different bacteria do. While studying bacteria on the battlefield during World War I, Fleming saw many soldiers die from wounds. At the time of Fleming's discovery of penicillin, he was studying Staphylococcus, one kind of bacteria. Every morning he checked on his cultures. A culture is a cultivated bacteria used for studying. Usually cultures are kept in their own dish. One day Fleming noticed something strange on one culture. It was the blue-green mold. At first he was going to throw the culture away. He assumed it was spoiled. Then something interesting caught his eye. The mold had eaten the bacteria, and Fleming thought about the possible benefits of this. This mold might make a good medicine. If something eats bacteria, it can fight disease. He called his substance penicillin. Who would have thought you could find something so special in a patch of mold? Fleming was not the first person to see the benefits to mold in mold. 3,000 years ago, the Chinese had used moldy soybean curds to treat boils and skin infections. Other cultures had been known to use warm earth with mold and fungus to treat common first aid injuries. Scientists in the 1800s and early 1900s had recorded similar observations of bacteria and mold as Fleming had. However, Fleming, along with other scientists, believed that penicillin could be a miracle drug that could fight disease and infection. Howard Florian Ernest Chain. Fleming's discovery would eventually change medicine, but Fleming couldn't be sure penicillin would work the way he thought it would. Further research was necessary. Other scientists had to prove its effects. Two of these scientists were Howard Florey and Ernest Chain. They tested penicillin on patients who were considered doomed. These patients had suffered for a long time without improvement. They had been given all other modern medicine and treatments, but only penicillin helped. It seemed to be a miracle drug. After months of using together and collaborating, they finally had a breakthrough. In 1940, they issued a report that stated that penicillin was capable of killing germs in the human body. They proved that penicillin could fight infectious bacteria. This meant it could help fight diseases. A good time for penicillin. Florian Chain made this discovery at a very good time. World War II was just beginning. Many soldiers had been wounded and their wounds had become infected. Penicillin could help them. Still, it was difficult to make large amounts quickly. Scientists searched for a solution. One way was by pumping air into the large vats of corn-steeped liquid. This made the penicillin grow faster. The process enabled scientists to produce large amounts quickly. Soon there was plenty of penicillin. Some of the wounded soldiers were treated with it. Children all over the world benefited. Penicillin soon became the most widely used antibiotic. Antibiotics are used to kill off infectious disease. Nobel Prize winners. Fleming, Florey, and Chain were awarded the Nobel Prize in 1945 for their contribution to medical research. These men believed that this medicine could work. During World War II, many other human inventions were destroyed, but it was during a time of war that penicillin was introduced, when several great minds came together to save lives and fight disease. Penicillin is one of the most important discoveries of all time. In the questions, number 8, they just jumped to number 8. That's fine. Number 8, which sentence best states the main idea of the passage? A, Alexander Fleming's discovery of penicillin is one of the medicine's great accomplishments. B, penicillin took a very long time to develop. C, Alexander Fleming deserved the Nobel Peace Prize he received. D. Penicillin was helpful to the wounded soldiers. Number 9. What is the prefix in the word antibiotic? A. Anti. B. Bio. C. Tick. Or D. Ick. Number 10. Read the following sentences. Or sentence. Penicillin is a miracle drug. Which sentence from the passage best supports this statement? A. One day, Fleming noticed something strange on one culture. B. Further research was necessary. C. They had been given all other modern medicines and treatments. D. Still, it was difficult to make large amounts quickly. Number 11. According to the passage, what happened after Florey and Chain issued a report? A. World War II started. B. The scientists made large amounts of penicillin. C. Fleming discovered moldy soybean curds. D. Fleming was studying staphylococcus. Number 12, what was not an effect of Fleming's discovery? A. Penicillin saved lives. B. Florey and Chain researched the use of penicillin. C. Fleming, Florey, and Chain received a Nobel Prize. Or D. World War II ended. 13, which sentence from the passage expresses an opinion? Fleming's discovery would eventually change medicine. One way was by pumping air into large vats of corn-steeped liquid. Penicillin is one of the most important discoveries of all time. Or D, this meant it could help fight diseases. Number 14, which reference source would not be useful in finding out more information about infectious disease? An atlas, an encyclopedia, a periodical, a website. Which one would not be useful? Number 15, read the following sentence from the passage. Then something interesting caught his eye. What type of figurative language is caught his eye? What do these words mean? So tell me what caught his eye means, what type of figurative language. So if it's a metaphor, simile, idiom, hyperbole, personification, and then tell me what it means, caught his eye. So 2 parts to that. And then we're on the hungry lion. Once upon a time, there was a lion who had grown very old. His age made him unable to hunt over other animals for food. This put the lion in a difficult situation. If he could not provide for himself, who would? He had never thought this would happen to him. One day, as he lay on the floor of his den, the lion listened to the angry grumbles of his stomach. He had not eaten for 5 hours, and for a lion, that was a long time. He thought sadly about his youthful hunting days. Then he was king of the forest, and other animals feared and respected him. He could hunt effortlessly. He longed for the days when any animal in the forest could be his. Suddenly, he heard a squirrel calling for him outside his den. "Lion, are you home?" the squirrel shouted. "Indeed I am," the lion responded. "Come in, friend." The squirrel bounded in and sat at the feet of the lion, dropping 2 acorns on the ground. "I hate to see a fellow animal go hungry. These are for you. I will bring you more, but I can only carry a couple at a time." The lion used to bully the squirrel's family, but the squirrel was forgiving. The squirrel knew that the lion was only behaving that way because he was hungry. After all, the lion never asked to be at the top of the food chain or to be king of the forest. That's just how he was born. It wasn't the lion's fault that he was big and needed lots of food. The squirrel knew that hunger was a very powerful and uncontrollable thing. Recently, the squirrel had seen the thin lion near its den. The squirrel realized that the lion hadn't been out eating in weeks. She thought at first maybe the lion was sick. Then she saw his silver coloring and realized that he was aging. The lion stared at the acorns, but instead of feeling grateful, he felt bitter. How weak he had become. Would he be forced to survive on handfuls of acorns brought to him by a squirrel? He didn't even eat acorns. He ate meat. But oh, how his stomach rumbled. His stomach rumbled like a thundercloud. He thanked the squirrel quietly. Just after saying his thanks, the lion gave the squirrel a second look. The squirrel suddenly looked delicious. What a tasty snack a squirrel would make after the acorns. The squirrel noticed the gleam of hunger in the lion's eyes, but she saw it 1 second too late. The lion devoured the squirrel in no time. Then he licked his chops and enjoyed every last taste. But it wasn't long before pangs of hunger spoiled the lion's mood. Eating the squirrel had given the lion an idea. Suppose he pretended to be sick. If he also made sure that word of his illness spread throughout the forest, other animals, even those who had always been his enemy, would feel sorry for him. He began spreading the word, and his wish came true. One by one, the animals came to his den to show their sorrow and wish him good health. Here are some berries, said a little bird. Here are some crickets, said an old frog. Here are some mice, said a young rabbit. And one by one, the lion ate them, satisfying his hunger quickly and easily. The lion used to prey on animals because they were small and easy to capture. Now he preyed on the animals who were the kindest. After many animals had disappeared, a curious and wise fox went to visit the lion. The fox stood outside the den and called out for him. Come in, friend, answered the lion. I could use the company. But the fox stopped and stared at the ground leading up to the den. He sternly replied, No, thank you. I notice that there are many footprints entering your den. I hardly see any footprints leaving it. I think I'll stay outside. Why, aren't you a sly old fox? The lion commented. Are you sure you won't come in for just a moment? But by then the fox was gone. Before long, word of the lion's trickery had spread throughout the forest. No animals would enter his den. No one knows what happened to the lion after that. One thing is likely, though. His stomach was probably growling all day long. Number 16. The word pangs means cold sensations, tickling sensations, pleasant feelings, sharp, painful sensations. Number 17. What is the theme of this passage? Crime does not pay. Giving is better than receiving. If you do good deeds, then good things will happen to you. Family and friends are very important. Number 18. What sentence from the passage tells you the point of view of this story? Here are some crickets. No, thank you. How weak he had become. Lion, are you home? Number 19. What is the resolution of the passage? The lion learned his lesson and acts nice. The fox figures out what the lion is doing and tells the other animals. The fox and lion become friends. The fox throws a party for the lion. Number 20. Which sentence from the passage contains a simile? He thought sadly about his youthful hunting days. That's just how he was born. His stomach rumbled like a thundercloud. The squirrel suddenly looked delicious. And 21. What type of passage is this? Is this a drama, fiction, nonfiction, or poetry? And then 22. What are the fox's feelings about the lion? Which details in the passage support your inference? I believe this is a race question. So if you're following along with me, this is a race question. So RACE for this one, 4-sentence answer. And we're done. When you're done, you can turn it into the blue basket. Make sure your name's on it, or you'll have to do it again, and that would stink.